Nowadays, you probably recognize Hawkeye from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, played by Jeremy Renner. This is him. Or you would think of this Hawkeye, with the iconic purple and blue suit. However, there has been a new cult favorite that is a great depiction of Hawkeye. That depiction is Hawkeye, My Life is a Weapon, Volume 1. I will be going more in depth of issue 2 of this collection. This series is unsurprisingly published by Marvel in March 2013. However, the first issue of this series was released in August 2012. It was created as a part of the new Marvel brand, Marvel Now. It was Marvel's way of relaunching certain IP with #1 issues, so it was easier for new readers to know where to start reading. Because superheroes that have existed for a long time, like Hawkeye, have confusing starting points. I also personally think the release of Avengers movie, released March 2012, had an influence in this new branding because there will be more readers that are new after seeing the film. And one of the main plot lines of this volume is that what does Clint Barton do when he's not Avenger? There was many creators on this volume/issue. Many of them have previous experience with Marvel. All the creators are on the bottom left. Matt Fraction is the writer of the series. His name is actually a pseudonym, and his real name is Matt Fritchman. He apparently got his pseudonym from a message board where he signed his works as Matt Fraction, Man of Action. This is very interesting to find out since I always thought Matt Fraction was his real name. He's from Chicago and started working consistently for Marvel in 2009 when he began writing Punisher War Journal. This is it on the right. Might be recognizable. And he's a 3-time Eisner Award winner for these comics on the right. Best New Series, The Invincible Iron Man. Best Single Issue for Hawkeye #11, which is the comic that's in Lucky's, the dog's perspective. And Best New Series, Sex Criminal, published by Image Comics. A very accomplished writer in the comics industry, I would say. Next is the artist David Aja, a Spanish comic book artist known for his work on Immortal Fists, which he collaborated with Fraction on, and Hawkeye, of course. I think Hawkeye really helped him gain popularity because that is what made him achieve 3 Eisners. Overall, his art style really brought this comic to life. Next is the colorist Matt Hollingsworth. He worked with many major comic book publishers like Marvel, DC, and Image Comics. He's also an Eisner Award winner, but for Preacher. And here's just some of his work on the bottom right. It's a bit blurry, but you can see the color schemes. Very talented artist. Those are the main creators of this comic that I will be going into today. There is more people who helped bring this comic to life, but I wanted to cover the main influential people that contributed to my rating system. I personally think this comic is very influential in the comic world since it brought a new direction of how to portray modern superheroes, especially since this is the rebranding of Hawkeye. It emphasizes that unique qualities of the characters are the heart of the story, not the superheroing. It later influenced the Disney Plus series Hawkeye as well, which is pretty influential. And it has a lot of inspiring structures and layout that transform the mold of what comics can do, especially for Marvel. Issue #2 of Hawkeye is the introduction of Kate Bishop. This is her on the bottom left. She becomes Clint partners in crime. She's very badass in a way. She doesn't need Clint's help, but Clint needs her help. This issue also develops the story arc of the series with the appearance of Circus of Crime. This is them in the top right, which are a part of Clint's past. And the foreshadowing of Kingpin and other villains he's conspiring with, which is the bottom. They never say his name, but it's clearly Kingpin. I would give this comic a rating of 5 out of 5 stars because it's a really good introduction to Kate Bishop, and the foreshadowing of Kingpin is well done as well. It really just hooks you in to continue reading, along with the great layout design with variety of inset panels and stacking of panels you see on the middle and the right. It's very unique and catches your eye. My rating is based on 3 vectors: writing, layout, color, and style. I put color and style together because they work well with each other, I think, in this issue. So I think the writing drives the comic. Is simple but straight to the point. Keeps your attention. it if it was complex and wordy, the issue wouldn't work in my opinion, especially with the unique layout design they use. They need simple writing. It really showcases Hawkeye as an individual instead of a superhero. It's really good at using captions and speech balloons to jump between Clint's thoughts and what's happening in real time. And you see there's some captions up here, goes into it, and then the bottom you see Clint talking to Kate. Secondly, the layout is extraordinary, in my opinion. It's simple but so out of the box. You can tell in the one on the right. It uses a variety of inset panels and changing it up from vertical and horizontal panels. It's a good mix and makes it very interesting to look at. And here's a close up of the bottom right panel. There's two of them, and there's like it's a good inset like into it and a good visual dynamic and composition because it goes straight to this. So as reading, it's really easy to follow. Here's more. These repeating panels really help emphasize of slowing down time, which is very important when you're focusing on shooting an arrow. And on the right is a lot of repeating panels that showcases a conversation with Kate and Clint. Surprisingly easy to follow, but very dynamic with these two big panels in the top and bottom right, and these small panels that flow in between. Finally, the color and art style. It's very simple, but with a limited color palette. It emphasizes action with a different color scheme, like the yellow. The yellow is like the action of the comic, especially in this issue. I've noticed that it repeats a bit. I really enjoy that because it really emphasizes the setting and what's happening. Changes the mood with color, I would say. It also really does a good job at clear silhouette and limited details, so it's easier to understand the setting, what's going on. Like the background's very simple, which I like because if it was too complex, I'd be what's going on. I can't follow it. Like reminds me of the old style, like this. It's thicker lines and very vibrant with colors, so it's limited color palette. Overall, so why does this comic matter? Well, it's very influential in the comics industry since it broke the mold at the time what exactly a superhero can be with an already established hero. It was a great reintroduction of Hawkeye, especially with the pressure of the MCU on his back. But I think most of all, having good visuals and a catchy storyline goes a long way.